Today we are gonna look at 15 things you didn't know about Aquaman. Number 15. He has an emotional backstory. Aquaman's humble beginnings are the basis for a difficult journey. He was born to Atlanta, an Atlantean princess and her human lover, Tom Curry. His mother died when he was quite young, leaving him to his father, who trained him to use his abilities for good. His dad died before he could see his son become the hero he'd trained him to be. Number 14. His enemies are frightening. Aquaman routinely squares off against sea monsters, as well as supervillains and other superheroes. Most heroes only face villains and each other, but the oceans are full of massive sea monsters, and it is Aquaman's duty to protect the innocent from these monstrosities. The trench, massive creatures with huge sharp teeth, are one of the more common sea monsters Aquaman faces. Number 13. He's basically a necromancer. At one point, DC killed off Aquaman only to revive him for the Brightest Day crossover event. Aquaman was imbued with a dark power that allowed him to resurrect undead marine life. Number 12. He is a killer. Traditionally, DC superheroes abhor killing. The biggest names, Superman and Batman, do whatever they can to avoid taking a life, even sparing the lives of their enemies. Aquaman has routinely strayed from this moral obligation, and has chosen to kill a number of his enemies. Although Aquaman has shown empathy to many of his enemies, he often goes into battle planning to kill them. He wields his weapons against them, but also commands vicious sea creatures, such as sharks, to tear them apart. Number 11. He can create and control tidal waves. Over the years, Aquaman has been imbued with some pretty amazing powers. He wasn't born with the ability to create and control tidal waves. Instead, this power was granted to him by the Lady of the Lake. It's called the Water-Bearer Hand, and it's responsible for many of Aquaman's coolest abilities. Number 10. He can't talk to fish. You've probably heard that Aquaman can talk to fish and other sea animals, but that's not even scratching the surface of his telepathic ability. In fact, he doesn't talk to fish at all. He controls their minds. There's no back and forth dialogue here. He gets inside their heads, and he directs them to aid him in battle or perform separate rescue missions. He can do this from a great distance using his advanced sonar ability. Number 9. His trident has some extraordinary abilities too. Aquaman was born with a great deal of magic and, as previously mentioned, had magic gifted to him by other characters in the DC universe. His trident, iconic and quintessential to his character, is imbued with some magic of its own. It's unknown which of the many origin stories the Trident will receive in the upcoming film, but it certainly will be in the film because it's integral to Aquaman's character. Number 8. His wife is a badass too. Red-headed Mera is a badass warrior of the sea. She's from Zeeble, located in the Bermuda Triangle, and only met Aquaman because she was charged with killing him. Instead, they fell in love and got married, but like their tumultuous start, Mera never takes much crap from her husband. They fight a lot, and she has an entire storyline dedicated to her battles with mental illness. Gorgeous Amber Heard is cast to play her in the movie, but there's no word yet if they'll tackle the years she spent in an insane asylum. Number 7. He is the king of Atlantis. As a child, Aquaman's dad taught him to be a leader. This eventually led to his taking the throne in Atlantis, although he took it begrudgingly. He wasn't exactly comfortable ruling, but that's perhaps why he is such a good ruler. As Atlantis ruler, he has control of the entire Atlantean army, which is the most powerful army on Earth. Number 6. He's punched death in the face. Aquaman isn't egotistical, but he is very confident. Unlike other DC characters, he doesn't let the tragedies of his past affect his current self-esteem. He's neither depressed nor conflicted, which makes him pretty badass. He frequently displays his confidence. One of his most courageous and badass moments comes when he punches death right in the jaw. Number 5. He co-founded the Justice League. The founding members of the Justice League are Aquaman, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and The Flash. As a founding member, Aquaman is one of the 7 Titans, and has faced off against some of the Justice League's most formidable foes, including the Crime Syndicate, Darkseid, and Starro. Number 4. He has a much larger universe than any other DC character. The Earth is more than 70% water covered, and protecting all of that water is Aquaman's responsibility. Other DC heroes, including Batman and Superman, basically care for a single city, Gotham and Metropolis respectively. They get out of town to save the world every once in a while, but that's nothing compared to being responsible for all the conflicts in all the Earth's oceans. Number 3. He lost a hand and replaced it with a trident. In the comics, there are a few variations in regards to the loss of his hand. In one story, Aquaman's hand is cut off by Black Manta. In another more violent encounter, Charybdis uses his mind control over sea creatures to command piranhas to chew Aquaman's hand off. In the Charybdis version, Aquaman actually sacrificed his hand to save innocent sea creatures, proving his empathy supersedes self-preservation. Number 2. His powers are far from lame. Aquaman has an incredible arsenal of powers. Over the years, he's gained and lost more powers than any other character in the DC universe. Not only can he control the sea and communicate/control beings telepathically, he can create portals between worlds. He has superhuman strength, and is so strong he is formidable against Superman and has bested gods. Number 1. He can travel between worlds. Few characters in the DC universe can leave Earth for other dimensions. Aquaman is one of the special few with this gift. He can open interdimensional portals and instantly travel to anywhere on Earth and beyond. Not only is this an awesome power, it's also made for some interesting battles too. He has bested enemies from other planets and dimensions using teleportation.